In a dusty room of an ancient library among old volumes and yellowed scrolls lies one of the greatest unsolved enigmas, the Voynich Manuscript. This medieval manuscript, written in a language that no one has ever been able to decipher and filled with equally puzzling illustrations, has become an obsession for scholars, linguists, and cryptographers around the world. But what is the Voynich Manuscript? An ancient esoteric text, a medieval hoax, or perhaps a testimony of forgotten knowledge? The story of the Voynich Manuscript begins in 1912, when Polish antiquarian Wilfrid Voynich purchased it from a Jesuit library near Rome. From the outset, the manuscript attracted attention for its strangeness. Written in a completely unknown alphabet, it appears to be organized into sections covering topics such as herbalism, astronomy, biology, and pharmacology. The illustrations, equally enigmatic, depict plants that do not exist in nature, astrological diagrams, and strange female figures in aquatic or fantastical settings. But what was the true purpose of this book? And more importantly, who wrote it? The origin of the manuscript is just as obscure. Through carbon-14 analysis, it has been determined that the Codex was created between 1404 and 1438, placing it firmly in the Middle Ages. However, its provenance remains unknown. Some scholars believe it was produced in Central Europe, perhaps in Italy or Bohemia, but no definitive evidence supports this. The text is not accompanied by any explanation or signature to help us understand who its author might have been, leaving room for wild speculation. Over the years, the Voynich manuscript has captured the interest of numerous cryptography experts. During World War II, American cryptographers who worked on decoding Nazi codes also tried, without success, to decipher the mysterious manuscript. Some have speculated that the text was written in an artificial language created specifically to conceal the content from anyone without the key. Others believe it might be a ciphered language, the code for which has never been discovered. One of the most fascinating theories is that the Voynich manuscript might be an ancient treatise on alchemy or occult sciences. The illustrations of unknown plants and astrological diagrams could represent hermetic knowledge passed down to a select few. Some scholars of the occult have even suggested that the manuscript was written by a secret group of alchemists or philosophers, intent on hiding their knowledge from the uninitiated. Others believe the manuscript is an encyclopedia of plants and medicinal remedies, but the plants depicted are symbolic rather than real. There are also less esoteric but equally intriguing theories. Some believe the manuscript was created by a single individual, perhaps an eccentric genius or a medieval artist, who conceived the entire work as a kind of intellectual game. This theory suggests that the Voynich manuscript may be an example of glossolalia, a form of automatic writing in which the author, in a trance-like state, produces a text devoid of rational meaning. In an attempt to solve the mystery of the Codex, many scholars have examined not only the text, but also the structure of the words and sentences. Yet, the mystery deepens. The words in the Codex seem to follow real linguistic patterns, such as letter distribution within sentences, but their meaning remains elusive. It is as if the manuscript mimics a real language, but is constructed in a way that renders it undecipherable. In 2019, a professor at the University of Bristol claimed to have finally deciphered the Codex, declaring it was written in a simplified form of Proto-Romance, an ancestral language. However, this interpretation was quickly contested by other scholars, who continue to assert that the true meaning of the Voynich manuscript remains far from discovery. The allure of the Voynich manuscript lies precisely in its impenetrability. Every page seems to contain clues, every illustration hides a coded message, yet despite centuries of attempts, the mystery remains intact. Perhaps it is this aura of unsolvable enigma that has transformed the Voynich manuscript into one of the most fascinating relics of the past.